Welcome to the first video of Unit 6, which is the unit on Islam. In this video, we are going to discuss the rise and spread of Islam, so where Islam began, who began Islam, and some of the core beliefs of the Islamic faith. So we'll start out with origins. Origins means beginnings. The religion of Islam was founded in present-day Saudi Arabia around 600 AD or CE. So this is on the Arabian Peninsula. If you take a look at this map right here, the yellow is where we're talking about in terms of the origin of Islam. This whole green area here is the Arabian Peninsula. And we'll take a look at a map in class that you can better see where this is located in terms of where we are in the world. Aside from some areas along the coast of the Red Sea, most of the Arabian Peninsula is made up of a desert. So this is going to have an impact on trade routes, on the spread of the religion originally. And since this is a zoomed out map a little bit, you can see that this is Africa here. We have the Nile River right here. Mediterranean Sea is up here. And again, the Arabian Peninsula is this peninsula right here. The desert was home to small nomadic tribes called Bedouins. Bedouins were a tough and courageous people who valued family and loyalty. They later formed the core of Islamic armies. Port cities popped up along the coast of the Red Sea, trading spices and other products from the Silk Road. Mecca was the largest and most influential city. So taking a look at this map, all of the lines represent trade routes. So you can see that they are both land and sea trade routes. And there are areas that there are no trade routes, largely because of the large desert. And some of these trade routes would be very difficult to cross over because of the large desert. But that's what they would use specified animals for, like camels, to help transport goods. And because camels can travel long distances with not a lot of water. Mecca here, spelled differently on this map, but the same Mecca, was the largest and most influential city. It was a very important city in terms of trade, and it will be a very important city in the Islamic faith. Mecca was a crossroads of trade and a pilgrimage location for worshippers of local gods. So this is prior to or before Islam was created. Pilgrimage means a long journey for a spiritual purpose. Many religions today have pilgrimages that are a part of religious beliefs, is to take a pilgrimage to a holy site, to go visit a holy site. The founding of Islam, we definitely recognize Muhammad for. Muhammad was a merchant born in Mecca around 570 AD or CE. At around the age of 40, according to Islam, he received a vision from God to create a pure religion. Now you see the image here. It says what an adult male of this period looked like. There is no image of Muhammad himself because according to the Islamic faith, it is improper to represent religious figures in a picture or picture form, in the forms of icons like you would see in Christianity. And so you won't see pictures or images of Muhammad, and instead you'll find that there are other ways that Muhammad is represented. Here it's just a picture of an adult male. Later on you'll see calligraphy is another common way of representing. Muhammad called the religion Islam, which means submission to God. A person who practices the religion of Islam is called a Muslim. So there's a difference between the terms. Islam is the name of the religion. Muslim is a person who practices Islam. Muhammad won some followers in Mecca, but was forced to flee to Medina in 622 AD. Muhammad gained more followers in Medina and then made his way back to Mecca in 630 AD or CE. And he is going to gain even more followers of Islam at that point. Both of these cities are important religious sites for the Islamic faith. Mecca is a very important religious site because it is the birthplace of Muhammad and where Islam began. Mecca and Medina are two cities that many Muslims will make a pilgrimage to during their lifetime if possible. Medina is considered a holy place because it is the location where Muhammad fled to, where Islam grew, and where Muhammad is buried. And another holy city important to the faith is Jerusalem. and that is where the Dome of the Rock is located. The Dome of the Rock is a very important building in the Islamic faith, very impressive architectural building, and is believed to be the place where Muhammad ascended into heaven. Now we'll cover some of the core beliefs of the Islamic faith. The holy book of Islam is the Quran. It is spelled two different ways. So you see there's one that starts with a K and one that starts with a Q. You should be familiar with both. And the Quran means word of God. It contains the teachings of Muhammad, a variety of prayers, and a moral code for Muslims to follow when they practice the Islamic religion. An important symbol associated with Islam is the crescent moon. This is because when Muhammad received his first revelation, the moon was at this last stage, appearing as a waning crescent. So it became a very important symbol to represent the religion of Islam. Islamic beliefs include the 5 pillars. The 5 pillars of Islam are listed here. We're going to go through each of them individually. So the first, belief in one God and his prophet Muhammad. The second, daily prayer. The third, almsgiving. The fourth, fasting during Ramadan. And the fifth is pilgrimage or Hajj to Mecca and Medina. The first of the 5 pillars, belief in one God and his prophet Muhammad. Muslims are monotheistic. Monotheistic meaning belief in one God. Their God, Allah, is believed to be the same God as in Judaism and Christianity, but they refer to God as Allah rather than God. Muslims accept Jesus, Moses, and Abraham, as well as other Christian and Jewish prophets, but think that they did not make a true religion. So you'll see a lot of the same prophets that are believed in Christianity and Judaism will also be believed by Muslims who follow Islam, but they go further than that. So in other words, you could say Judaism and Christianity were on the right track, but didn't go far enough for where Islam wanted to go, where the religion follows prophets. The second of the 5 pillars is daily prayer. Muslims pray 5 times a day. Every time that they pray, they are going to orient themselves towards Mecca. So wherever Mecca is located in the world from where they are, that is the direction that they pray. There are 5 particular times of day that Muslims pray. It doesn't have to be at a particular time exactly, but the certain area time of day. So around sunrise, around sunset would be examples rather than 5 p.m. But it is 5 times a day. They can pray at a mosque, or they can pray really anywhere. But they do pray 5 times a day. The third pillar of the 5 pillars is giving alms or almsgiving, which are donations to the needy. Sometimes donations are made to organizations to help the poor make their trip to Mecca, which is part of the 5th pillar. Donations could be given to the mosque, and those donations will be then given out from the mosque. Or individuals can donate themselves directly to those who are in need, those who are looking to make the trip to Mecca, different charities, and they donate a percentage of their income every year. So almsgiving or donations are a very important part of the Islamic faith. The 4th of the 5 pillars is fasting during Ramadan. Ramadan happens over the course of a month every year, and it serves as a redevotion to God or Allah. People are not supposed to eat during daylight hours for a period of about 30 days. So from sunrise to sunset, they do not eat at all. They will have often a large meal after the sun goes down at night. And the 5th of the 5 pillars is a pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina. So this pilgrimage, called the Hajj, is supposed to be taken by all able-bodied Muslims at some point in their lives. Now, if a person cannot make the trip because they are physically unable or financially unable, then it is not as if they are stricken from the religion, but it is important to Muslims to find a way to make this pilgrimage at some point in their life. In terms of leadership in the Islamic faith, Muslims will often go to a mosque to pray. Like I said, they can pray anywhere. but they pray directly to Allah. So the role of a religious leader, like a priest in Christianity, is minimized. That being said, they do have a leader of the mosque, and that is an imam, and they often lead worship at a mosque. Imam just means Islamic community and worship leader. And a mosque is an Islamic house of worship. I've used that term quite a bit already. It would be the equivalent of a cathedral to Christianity. That's the end of the first video on Islam.